Saying you're very welcome once again on my morning stream. I don't know if you was here yesterday, but we had a lot of fun with driving games. It was quite a discovery, in fact, for me. I hadn't played Assetto Corsa online for a while, and it's just as fun as it ever was. Although many people seem to drive like crazy, so in the end it's hard to finish a race. But it was fun. It was fun. Even more fun when I passed to a rally game, so we didn't have as many problems with other dangerous cars on the road. But that won't be a problem this morning since we're back to planes and dogfighting, so people trying to kill you in the rear view mirror is actually expected and even, dare I say, productive to the fun factor of the stream. So let's go back to a view where my face doesn't take half of the screen. Should be this one. Yes. Priority of the window is correct. And this is Sturmovik again. It is the one I'm enjoying the most recently, probably because I got some DLC I didn't have. I got, for instance, the Superman Spitfire, British plane, that the other day we couldn't use because I didn't understand in time how the radiator worked. Now, as you know, this is a more realistic game than War Thunder, where you have to actually care for your engine, manage it in many instances. One of these is, of course, temperature. So these planes actually tend to overheat. They have very powerful engines for the time, and due to this, you have a manually controlled radiator. Well, actually, you have two Russian planes. German planes are completely automatic. This is the first British plane I fly in this game, so I didn't know about it. The Spitfire, which is a very famous, iconic, and quite agile and nimble plane, not very fast I've heard, but I have still to thoroughly test it. In any case, this one is actually a midway, a middle point, let's say, between Russian and Germans, because it only has a controllable radiator you have to control, the water one, and it is done with this big lever to the left that actually is bound differently in the game's logic, so I have to set it to bound it manually, and now I can finally fly the Spitfire. Apart from that, there doesn't seem to be many other differences. You actually can set your RPMs manually. Yeah, I have buttons for these because they also present on the lag Russian plane that I always pilot. Apart from that, it flies exactly like all the others. It says you have many technological notes for Sturmovik for each plane. You can check them from the map view here. Specification. If you scroll to the bottom, but it will be difficult now since the chat window covers it partially, but you can easily read it. It tells you a lot of things about the plane. It tells you, for instance, that the manifold pressure of the engine is automatic. RPM says it has an automatic governor, but you actually can control it, so I don't know. And most of all, it told you about the fact of the radiator. It also warns you about the fact that this plane is actually very twitchy and you don't have to move the control lever as much. That seems to be quite true. Look at that. If you even as much as pull it, what happens? Also, the fact that the pilot is a bit weak doesn't help. Since one of the latest patches, they really made it much easier to black out in this game. And so this is the Spitfire. I was testing it in a quick flight before starting the stream. We might even try and land it, but I think it's not worth it. Let's just go to a battle. I'm opening up like the other day, since it seemed to be so enjoyable, both for you and me, with a quick dogfight on the pure dogfighting server. Playing against other people is always more fun, but this game has... The point is that most of the time when you play multiplayer, you have these long-winded missions, you have to fly all the way to the front line. It takes a lot of time. So rather than playing that, I'd go for the simple deathmatch. That is, if it does indeed have players at this time of the day, that's all to see. I don't see it. I don't see it among the populated one. Tactical Air War has 25 players and Wings of Liberty has 29, but these are the kind of servers that are going to waste a lot of our times. And apparently the Berloga server is not populated. Then I guess the next best thing we can do is just start a quick dogfight, just to take a bit, enter into the idea of piloting the Spitfire. Then I guess we'll play career. I also have the Scripted Campaings that I bought the other day. I still have to test this. So I guess we'll be on the Allies side. Let's put some Russian planes together with us. 2 wings of 3. And some Germans to shoot at. And see how it goes. I would have much preferred to do it against real players, but the server isn't populated, so we don't have really much of a choice. This is just to make practice of how this thing handles, then we're going to the career. I was actually quite eager to test this plane, and the other day we ended up playing with the Italian one because I hadn't understood the workings of the water radiator, but now that secret is past of us, so we can easily go and test the plane. It's got a lot of instrumentation, much more so than Russian planes. In that regard, it reminds me more of the American one that is in Sturmovik, that is the Ira Cobra. Okay, here come the Germans. Now, this thing, as far as I know, should outturn basically any other plane from the era, from what I've heard. Okay, we're supposed to shoot Germans, so let's try to remember it. So, these are the usual BFs. A BF, for instance, should be absolutely no challenge to get into the behind with a Spitfire, while these probably are faster than me, if that is they can accelerate. As for armaments, I wouldn't know. Haven't studied it. We'll know soon enough, as soon as I open fire. Well, it's got at least 4 guns, I guess. Too big on the wings, they can clearly be seen. They're in a fairly standard configuration, unlike the MC-202, the Italian plane we were piloting the other day, which had a much more strange configuration with the guns in front, like it was a World War plane. I rather enjoyed that thing. Okay, I was following a Russian plane, that's not the best idea, just the BF. I've read about this. Yeah, this sound, this rather anxiety-inducing sound, is an actual siren the Spitfire had for when you're almost installed. You lose too much speed, it starts to sound. It tells you, shit man, what are you doing? You're going to fall. Also, I'm losing RPMs, I don't know why. Let's open the radiator. Okay. Maybe the RPMs are limited by the actual temperature of the engine. It could be. It says the RPM are actually semi-automatic, so it will make sense. Yeah, as expected, the enemy is much faster than me. And apparently I cannot increase the RPMs, so maybe in this mode they're controlled automatically, completely automatic way. No, I'm going much too slow. There's something wrong. I believe. Let's see where the speed is. Climb altitude, high speed, yeah. Well, we're like 200, that's far too low for a dogfight in the 40s. No, it's accelerating again. Maybe it's just that slow. I don't know, I never flew the Spitfire in War Thunder. I unlocked another Tech 3, so for me it's a completely new plane. It seems to be rather slow. Not that it hurt too much its performance in World War II. Apparently this thing was one of the absolute most feared planes from the time. I'm keeping the labels on for the moment. I know, it's strange. It's so slow. 200 now. Okay, that's probably a good chance, or would have been if I had a better control of the stick. Listen to this pilot. Don't smoke so much and fly, man. Okay. Remove this blasted assist, which is in any case almost always wrong. Okay, what is that? A piece of the plane, a piece of the tail, starting to do its job. Are you dead already? Okay, this was rather satisfying, I must say. More pieces. I think it's that, yeah. Let me check the technical notes for another minute, because it seems to be slow. What does it say? Engine is equipped with automatic governor on the manifold pressure. The postman the throttle is set to 1/3 position or above. It's necessary to turn the automatic governor off. Maybe it's this. You need to turn the automatic governor off. I wonder how it's done. There must be a button for it. This is quite different from the other planes. Automatic radiators control, mixer and superchargers control. Left shift M. Maybe it's that one. Propeller RPM control. No, that's the same as the other planes. Let's try to press left shift N, left shift M. Maybe it's that one. Well, I get no feedback. No, the game gives you no message. Let's see if it makes a difference. Or maybe we can set also automatic engine management for the carrier. That would certainly help. Unless that is it's automatic even here, that would make sense. Then again, it also means the Spitfire actually is this low. I cannot even reach the dogfight. Yeah, here we come. Wait for me, I'm British, you see. I take time. I know I break out again. Well, it can turn very well, that's for sure. Much better so than the pilot. Okay, this one I think is finished. No, it's not, because once again, it's faster than me. Let me check on Google a second. I don't want to completely abandon this plane as already, because at this point it feels like the thing to be done. Sturmovik Spitfire seems slow. It's a flying trash. Yeah, I feel a bit like this now. Slow climbing, slow turning, so there's nothing strange. Bad weapon aim. Nah, the weapon aim is okay, man. Finally, someone who sees it. That characteristic give the plane the true name, Shitfire. So that's what I bought, the Shitfire, but good thing it was on sale. Maybe it's not the famous version of this Spitfire. Didn't this thing wreak havoc on the Battle of Britain campaign? I have heard about it. It's the Shitfire. Well, let's see what we can do with the Shitfire. The shit's on fire. Well, shit does roll downhill, doesn't it? So we might as well take a dive. Here comes the siren again. Okay, this is on the pilots. That's not because of the plane. I'm going to die, okay. No, I'm not. That's a relief. No, I don't know about the steamed post. Maybe it has to be understood. It's not too much of a famous plane. Can't be all this. In any case, I'm not playing career mode with this. So now that we seem to have understood the gist of this thing, let's go and play a bit of campaign. I want to go ahead with the scripted campaign. That was even cheaper because of the sale. By the way, if you like this game, check out on Steam, they're having an incredible sale. It's everything 75% discounted, and that's the reason I have so much new stuff. Also, in a few days, the new big expansion is also coming out on Steam. It's already on their website, but I'll have to wait for the Steam version because I have the game on Steam. Engine auto control, well, put it in automatic. One less thing to worry about. And the big new expansion is going to be set in Germany in a later stage of the war. It will even have the German jet from the time, the ME something, I don't remember the number. It's an incredible plane. I'm very eagerly waiting for it. This is a great game, really. The graphics much better than War Thunder, which is its main competitor. Here it is. That's the German plane I was speaking about. The ME, whatever, how I call it. Okay, this is the Scripted Campaign Blazing Step, if I'm not mistaken, unless it's Fortress on the Volga, but it should be Blazing Step. It's got even its story, it doesn't play out with full motion visual or nothing high-tech like that. You just have some text blurbs before each mission, which tell you about the scenario, the story of your character, but we don't much care for it. So let's just read the briefing. They're mostly short flights, that's better, gets you into the action quicker. And what does it say? Pre-flight instruction. After you obtain permission from the command, a green flare is launched. Take off and head west. Follow course. This is during the higher phase of the Battle of Stalingrad. The subsequent route is shown. Cover the combat movements. Yeah, that's the one I should have read. Cover the units of the 64th Army and the Tsibenko Gavrilonka line. You are the leader. Careful monitor remaining fuel. I don't like how it sounds. Didn't you? You refuel this airplane before taking off. And look, it's always full of these little set pieces. Being a scripted campaign, you actually tend to see cool stuff. It's like a level from Half-Life. This is my wingman. Apparently the plane is also empty. Maybe the wingman is refreshing himself at the airfield's bar. I wouldn't know. Let's just take off, I guess, if follow me later. The airport also pretty nice, full of movement, activity, and the dynamic campaign isn't like this. Maybe the best format for this kind of game would be an half and half, so to say, a campaign where you have many unscripted missions and once in a while there's one that is in fact scripted. Now I'm thinking at the Total War series of games, strategy games, they're like that. You have the story missions inside a campaign that is completely controlled by the player. It tends to make for a good variety of situations. Now I'm putting time compression to the max, you see, so that's the reason we're having no audio. That is apart from my voice, I hope. But I did test the microphone. Also, this is a typical problem. The briefing is covering the map exactly where I should be looking at. Wait a second. Now I lost focus on the window. That's so good. Where's the mouse? Here we are. I need to put, let's use the auto leveling autopilot. Yeah, like this. Then I can easily remove it. And finally I see where I am. Might be unrealistic, but it's very practical. Did the copilot follow me? The copilot, I mean the wingmate. Yeah, here they are. I really should be able to give orders to them as well. This is the Yak. It's the fairly standard run-of-the-mill Russian fighter from the scenario. Here we're coming towards the affluence of the river Volga, right in front of us. We should be able to spot Stalingrad once more by the fires. It's always on fire, that place. Some movement on the ground. There seem to be vehicles returning to our side of the battle. Maybe they already accomplished their mission, so we hope. Even with time compression to the max, it takes a bit longer to get to the front than in other flying games. Trust me, action's going to be right around the corner. It is after all a scripted mission. It's not like the dynamic campaign where sometimes you fly to the objective and there is nothing at all. Because of course you see it's dynamic. Too much for its own good. Back in the cockpit now. Now, as you see, as I was saying before, the Russian planes have much less technology in them, so to say. I mean, the cockpit's much barren compared to the Spitfire even. You only have the essential instruments on the front, That's the altimeter. Under it, speedometer, then a clock, time coordinator. To the right, let's see, the topmost one should be, that's not the airspeed, maybe it's the pressure. It's written in Russian, that's not going to help. This plane, I believe, shouldn't have, I don't believe it has an interior fuel indicator. Probably the fuel indicator is this one I see in the wing itself. Also, that sort of pin over there, that red thing, actually comes up when you're almost out of fuel. So probably that's what they meant when they told me at the beginning, check out your remaining fuel. Because you have to remember and check it in the yak. It's not going to tell you when you're down, when you're low on it. Now we're almost out of topics. I hope the enemy shows up soon. That I believe should be Stalingrad. This part of the map over here. I say I believe because of course everything's written in Russian. It's more immersive that way. Putting the autopilot on again. Another little anachronism. There isn't much left to do, except wait. So, is it really that bad, the Spitfire? You can still see what's happening in game, you see. Water red. Puts the VB into contact. The great thing about the Il-2 is that there's no balancing. Are you high? But turning. The only thing that matches the speed is probably the speed 9. Okay. Seem to be quite contrasting opinion on this. How's the mission? Still no contact. It's your flying skill that's lacking, I guess so. Compared with the Yak-7B, your Spitfire is trash. This isn't a thread that seems to be much into the technical aspects of the matter. Should seek elsewhere, I believe. Well, once again, this Scripted Campaign is kinda disappointing. I mean, what's the meaning of this wait? That's, as I said, Stalingrad is practically constantly on fire during the battle that takes its name. Here's the enemy, yes. Well, could be the enemy, still unidentified. And still with time compression to the max. That's the reason we don't have any sound. Doesn't let me know yet. That's the enemy team. Why are they flying with the lights on? No. They're flying the lights on because indeed they're friendlies. So apparently they're afraid of being shot at by the friendly city of Stalingrad. Once again, just I-16s. Very outdated planes by this time of the war. I guess from a mission design standpoint it would have made more sense to make me take off from there, since we're still not in contact with the enemy. I see on the map, on the magical map, that I shouldn't even have, there is an enemy contact over there. Might as well go and check, lest we all die of boredom. 5 kilometers. No, there's actually it's a full friendly formation going after that guy. Well, we better go and put ourselves in the middle so we can get shot at by friendlies. That will be hard to catch up to. He's higher and faster than me, even with time compression. Wait a second. That's a full-on battle. 3 friendlies, 1 enemy. It's much easier to tell when you have labels on. Perhaps finally we managed to butt in that. I'm completely off course compared to where I'm supposed to go. Well, that's debatable, really. I'm supposed to cover the advance of a ground unit, might as well shoot when I see the enemies. It's a BF, the G version. I don't know anything about the various versions of the BF. They almost all seem the same to me. There's two main generations of it that have pretty significant changes in the instrumentation of the cockpit, but the plane is basically remained the same for the World War. It was just that good. So much so, in fact, that as I was saying the other day, when they introduced the newer German plane, the Focke-Wulf, I don't remember the number, many aces continued to prefer the older one. Apparently the BF was one of the absolute best planes of World War II. Doesn't really surprise you when you think about German technology from the era. And as you can see, this pilot also seems to be pretty courageous in its maneuvers. Okay, and now he's maybe... I believe he's dead, yeah. And it removes you. It's broken enough. He's broken enough! Like the famous world wrestling meme. Was you there when undertaken through... Who was it? Off during Hell in a Cell. Okay, but no, I digress. Let's go back to the objective. No, I'm not going back to the objective. I want to get the other BF. There should be one. Now my head is outside of the cockpit, you see. This is incredible VR technology. Allows you to exit your body in a soul-like manner. The magic radar tells me there should be an enemy here, but I cannot see it. Maybe, no, it's not below. Wow, when you look down in this game, it really feels like you're looking down. It's not like War Thunder. Quite impressive, in fact. I believe the sense of scale is much better done. It's an invisible plane, I guess. Okay, now I'm exactly above the objective. I see ground troops, we might as well strafe them, because you see, as always, I'm playing with unlimited munitions. It's much more fun like that, especially when you have to fly for so long before you even get to the objective. So having unlimited ammo, might as well shoot the ground troops. Unless that is they are tanks and I cannot hurt them. They appear to be guys who are setting fire to the road. I don't know what's that, maybe a farm. Yeah, these are tanks, okay. And now finally machine guns to tanks, that's completely useless. They seemed like Panzer IV, didn't they? I believe they were Panzer IVs. I cannot absolutely hurt Panzer IVs in this plane, so let's go back with altitude and see what actually the game expects us to do. Raising tank compression again. How do I cover the advance of ground troops? Ah, there's another column over there. Let's see if these are destroyable. That seems like a truck. I can destroy a truck. Yes, indeed. Well, the trees are not going to help. No, it's not exactly trucks, it's that semi-truck, the troop transport the Germans had. I don't absolutely know its name. It's in every World War II game since forever. These are lightly armored, I believe, so it's a wild guess. I don't know if I can destroy one with my guns. Having unlimited ammo, once more we might as well try. Besides, making ground runs looks cool, so I wouldn't disregard the chance. Affected by the trees, that guy. Like a druid. Of dungeons and dragons. These are the tanks, okay. No, these are not tanks, these are ground emplacements. I can surely destroy ground emplacement. My god, there's so many. No, he hit me! Away, away. hit my tail, made some holes in it. No, this seems too dangerous to approach. I better not try that again. Is that the enemy? Ah, finally. Air units. Should try and give orders to my wingmates. What was it, man? Since I'm the fight leader. Attack nearest air attack. Well, it's kinda obvious, but I better tell them nonetheless. Let's see what they are. Another group of BF-110. This time they're the E version, well, second subversion of the E series. I believe E and F were the variants most often used for air-to-air combat, so they should be better equipped for it. Ah, look at the ground bomber. Once again, the labels are failing us because there's apparently nothing here according to the game, but you do see their tracers, so maybe it's ground troops shooting at each other. These are the guys we are supposed to protect, I guess. Big battle is over there. Well, no, this is a pretty cool engagement. The dynamic campaign doesn't have this kind of things. There's a lot going on all about. I'm starting to like the Scripted Campaign. Should be able to reach these guys. The Yak is a very fast plane, unlike the shitfire, or so they call it. Yes, indeed I'm catching up. Now less than a kilometer away. I'm turning off the labels, they serve no purpose at this point. Ah no, wait a minute. No, it's a different number. It's a BF-110. Okay, they're ground attack planes. They're not the fighters. I was showing my knowledge about planes and I completely misidentified now. Look at this guy. What do you want to do? Dogfight in a ground attack plane? No. You're going to pay the ultimate price. Okay, one engine, one to go. It's also shooting me with its rear gun. That's probably not good. I believe it's doomed. When your plane catches fire, you don't have much left to do. I better not risk it. Let's see the other guy. Well, there were several, in fact. Let's see one of the other guys. These are bombers, so they're a great menace to our ground troops. I better prioritize them. One, two, three of them. These guys up there, I don't know what they are. They seem not interested to what's going on down below. It's telling me something in Russian. Hold on, this is Flight Eagle, requesting landing approach. Well, it's not requesting it to me. No, you can completely disregard the radio in this game. That's not like DCS, where in a modern setting you have to coordinate with the other units. I'm attacking the one in the rear, of course. Less risky. Already seems to be taking the hit. Not yet on fire. Better insist on it. You tricky pilot. It's taking me away from the other guys. Okay, I'm cheating a little. Give me back my shooting assist. It's not needed at this distance, really. Come on, I may be attacked by a ground attack plane. Well, the left engine is definitely stopped. I see the propeller. Right most not yet. So let's shoot more to the right. Ah, okay, that's a piece of the wing. You have to be careful. You can actually be destroyed by pieces. Oh shit, I had someone behind. No, what happened? Completely lost control. I'm going down. I can do nothing. Well, that's quite realistic, but also a bit of a disappointment. He one-shot me. He hit the wrong point of the plane, and that completely fucked its possibilities of remaining in there. Okay, that's a disappointment. Well, I'm not playing the same mission 2 times in a row. Let's try the other campaign, Fortress on the Volga. It's too bad, really, because I believe it was almost over. On the perimeters of Europe. In the wings of transport plane, the last rays of the setting sun. No, okay. Provide destruction. Find assessment. Redeploy a pair in a Pitomnik airfield. Is it the same airfield? I cannot believe it. 2 campaigns, same airfield. Wait for the takeoff of the transport aircraft. So you have to escort the transport aircraft. Well, could be interesting. Let's see. Was I using unlimited ammo, actually? Yes, I was. One hit, dead. I see. I understand it's realistic, but come on. Still have to try this campaign. Same airfield, but at least it's apparently a different route. Well, maybe we're actually transferring to the other airfield I saw on the way to the front. No way, that's a big difference. I'm a German now. I see. So it's the same scenario from the German side. Remove the headrest. We're not going to need a headrest, so I can look better behind. Since we're playing in VR, well, we might as well do it. Okay, so you see, when you're in the German planes, it's all different. It's almost everything is automatic in these things. Even the trim is automatic. You see these little winglets that are coming up now. These are actually set by the ground crew. So it's a Junkers, the transport plane. Look at the gunner, completely exposed to the elements and enemy fire. See how the BF accelerates. It's a beast of a plane, monstrous engine. Should be able to pass that guy in a second or less. I took a good look at these things from close by. I'll try and get information with it. Let's hope it's an eventful mission, because the beginning one from the other campaign was just a familiarization flight. I'll engage timescale times 8 just in case. Let's hope it shortens our wait. Here's the Junkers. And the other BF, I believe, is my wingmate. Okay, that's the guy we're supposed to escort. He's horribly slow, of course. That's to be expected in any shape of video game since the beginning of time. When you escort, you better believe it's going to be a slow guy. It's got 3 engines, yeah, like the Italian planes from the era. There's a series of bomber in War Thunder that I actually unlocked that have 3 engines in that configuration, 1 in the center and 2 on the wings. Makes for a fairly powerful big hulk of a plane, I believe. Also, the name of the pilot is 3MG4E. That happens, you see, because this campaign actually came out before the pilots of Sturmovik began being named, so it's not set in the mission configuration file. That means it's just a generic code. Also, maybe always the same code. I already saw another plane with the same name the other day. Is the Junkers. Now it's 2021. Well, who knows? It cannot even raise its landing gear. Yeah, it's fixed. I wonder why the Germans painted their engines yellow like that. Makes for much easier identification, even spotting of the plane at a distance. This reminds me, I didn't post this stream on the Sturmovik group. Let's try and do it. Maybe they will give me some idea. No, wait a second. Don't I have an autopilot? No, if I don't, I cannot do it. Maybe after this mission. There's no autopilot apparently in Scripted Campaigns. At least I will have the leveling one. Yes. Still in my clipboard. That's perfect. How was it now? I posted this stream the other day. Today I forgot it. Yeah, it's this group. Il-2 Great Battles. Hi guys, if you're already watching me, now I'm going to bother you even more. Come and watch me. Comment on my stream. I hadn't originally because I had thought I might play other games, but now that I'm in Sturmovik, I believe I will stay all the time in this. But where is this junkets going? Wait a minute, the mission was the other way. This doesn't make sense. Let me read the briefing again. Yeah, the briefing is here, of course. Redeploy in a pair to the Piton refuge. You take the lead. Be extremely cautious. When landing, wait for the takeoff of the transport aircraft. After you obtain permission, take off. And he did. You wasn't supposed to follow the transport aircraft. That was just my idea. That's embarrassing. Okay, now with just ×4 time compression is going to take a while. Yeah, it was very clearly there, the waypoint. Yet I saw the jackets and I was fascinated by it. I guess it's a form of target fixation, although much more friendly than the usual one. I wanted to protect the plane after all. I believe well, maybe I should restart. It's going to take less that way. What a silly thing to do. Now when this game loads, you better go to the overlay, because in VR you get a garbled image that actually hurts your eyes. Here we are. So, taking off for Pitopnik, the second time's the charm, I guess. Game is paused. So he was saying, wait for the transport aircraft to take off, because he didn't want you to crash into it, not because you were supposed to escort it. I also turned off my engine now, because you see I had pressed the wrong button. That's even better, so we're giving him time to take off. And now we're off. Remove time compression, back in the cockpit, we're off. So, for the guys from the Sturmovik group are probably just connected, we are doing the Fortress on the Volga campaign, scripted one, that I got on sale the other day. And this is the first mission actually, after having a rather disappointing outcome on the other side of the mother, that is the Blazing Steppe campaign from the Russian side, when a lucky shot from an enemy BF-110 actually took down my yak, so now we're playing from the German side. I don't know anything about these missions, they're completely new to me, I got it the other day, so let's just follow let's call it a story. Now you're supposed to move further to the front. I don't see Stalingrad, so I guess this is set, yeah, it's on the other side of the river. That's the Volga, okay. Well, it's actually set on the same side of the river, only that now it's controlled by Germany. Yeah, this is the place where everything happens. So we're redeploying, I guess, to a much closer airfield. That's going to be good for the following mission. I guess we won't have to make this route again. Although it makes me very improbable for us to meet the enemy on this first mission. We are after all moving behind friendly lines. Someone's coming the other way, what is it? We're using time compression now, and saying it again for whoever just came. So that's the reason we don't have sound. Yeah, 20 kilometers to cover. We better use time compression. These are BF109. I also wanted to play some dogfighting on multiplayer server, but unfortunately Berloga was empty this morning. Maybe if we go and check later, there will be some players. I tend not to play Tactical Air War on stream because it takes so long to get to the front lines. I believe it will make for a boring experience for spectators. Again, you see the way this game stupidly removes ground units when you look at them in VR. I don't know why it does it. They should really fix that problem. This is the area controlled by the 6th Army. Well, there isn't much to do or say at this time. We just fly to the other airfield. Unfortunately, this is the max time compression. Can go faster than this. So as I was saying earlier, we better speak about something at least. It was quite a surprise for me. The fact that the Supermarine Spitfire in this game actually seems to be extremely slow and quite unsatisfying to fly. I don't know how realistic this is. Now I'm finding another forum thread about the same matter. Or maybe they are speaking about it. No, the ones on Steam were quite direct on it. They said they call it the shit fire. It's not much slower than the 109. I believe that's it to be expected. But it's even more boring to fly than I would have thought, considering the fame of the plane. Where are we now? Okay, 4 kilometers to the next waypoint. You see how convenient is VR. You can actually entertain yourself while you're flying to the objective. It's very convenient. Even used to read the news while playing Truck Simulator. We're about midway now. Good. Corrected my route. No. So I was wondering, maybe some of you know, might write me in the comment, is there a specific control you have to press on the Spitfire to engage boosted mode? That is my question. None of the buttons I pressed earlier seem to make a difference. Oh, this is speaking about other things. Sturmovik Spitfire, let's try it also premium. No, it's not premium, how are they called? Collector plane. P40 or Spitfire. The Spitfire seems generally superior. That's a strange thing. Spitfire is supposed to be excellent as a plane. Can't be like that. The P40 you have to be careful. Ah yes, the P40 you indeed have to be careful. That happened to me several times while piloting that plane. If you as much as increase your throttle a bit too much, the engine goes dead and you can do nothing to restart it. It's the most boring mission in the history of Sturmovik. Well, maybe not so. It even has more boring missions. Now coming a bit closer to the front. More enemies coming. More friendlies, I mean, from the left. Let me see the review about this campaign. How's it called? Fortress on the Volga. Campaign trailer. It's now 75% discounted. I mean, the peak. Well, it doesn't feel like the peak yet. I guess we're going to the peak part in a minute. Yeah, you always pilot the BF109. 15 missions. All missions are based on historical events. The 10 days of autumn campaign. No, I guess it's going to get better. The other one did. After the first mission already you had a fairly engaging action. At least I will get to land. Ah, here are more junkers. the 3-engine transport plane from the beginning of the mission that I stupidly followed on the opposite way of my route. More oxbow lakes formed by the river. Here it is. Very meandering one at that. I wonder what its name is. It's an affluent of the Volga, I guess. Couple of towns whose name apparently is Zimorklevka and Karpovka. Well, at least they wrote it in English above the Russian characters. Sometimes it's a bit of a mystery where you are in these games. This is maximum time compression, mind you. Would be times 8, it actually isn't. I wrote about it on the forum of the game once, but they told me you're supposed to wait. It's a realistic simulation, you better not expect too much action from it. But that's mostly generally untrue. There are things you can do to lower your waiting times, at least in dynamic campaign. In this thing that is completely new to me, maybe not so. This is basically like playing flight simulator. Go from point A to point B. So, am I running low on fuel? Surely seems so, judging by the instruments. I love the way the pedals actually respond, even when in flight. You can see their movements. Too bad you can see your own legs. That's kinda surprising. In VR at least. Come on. Almost stupid top click. That's actually the same airfield that we took off in the other campaign. So they can't be at the same time. They're taking place one after the other. I wonder which was first. Of course I never read the story, so that would be an hard guess. I believe we're almost at the end of this extremely important, while a bit monotonous, familiarization flight. Okay, at least we're coming from the right direction of the airfield. Remove time compression. Let's see if I can tell them I'm coming. No, I believe not. Nah. There's no air traffic control in World War II. Okay, see, this being a German plane, there isn't much we have to do. The engine is completely automatic. I just lower... No, can you even lower the flaps? I don't see the tech message for it. Just close the throttle. That's enough, I bet. I'll also cheat a little with an external view. Maybe, yeah, that's a little detail. Maybe put your gear down, man. You think I use the external view. And I'm also a little late now. Well, more than a little, so let's hope for the best. Not that bad as it looks from the outside. Okay, I broke the propeller. I'm also bouncing. This is the shittiest landing in the history of Sturmovik. I'm also running out of... this is because of the boredom, you see. All the long flight completely destroyed my attention span. Now I touch a little on the right, touch on the left, touch. I think I'm going to be beaten by the ground shift once I get off this thing. But I will get off, so all things considered could have been worse. What's the key to open the canopy? I don't know, I don't care, let's just finish the mission. Now it's gone green, so we're finally moving on to something perhaps a bit more interesting. Mission accomplished. It's a successful landing, you see? It's successful. Fall from Olympus. What is this one? The subsequent route is shown on your flight A. Mission and goal. Land on the northern... Not another one like that. Addition to our group, we're also today... Well, maybe some action will come this time. I'm not going to give up on this campaign just yet. Let's play another couple at least. What's this sound? Ah, I'm disconnected. It reconnected? Since so, I must tell you, my internet provider has been not quite up to par recently, so this might happen once more. Now my router's flashing green, red, everything. Are we back? Are we back yet? Let's hope so. Okay. Okay, yes, you see, that's because of faster. My internet provider, sometimes it gets disconnected like this. Not again. No. Okay, reconnect. But also the game seems to have hanged. Yeah, the game crashed. That's even worse than I expected. I'm sorry, guys. Technical unforeseen problems. What the hell? I'll have to start the game again, I guess. There's nothing much I can do. No, indeed there isn't. I'm sorry for this. Well, my provider should be sorry, but I bet it won't, so I better be. Start the game again. Steam VR version. That's quite unexpected. Well, not much though. Yesterday I had some problems of the like, when I wasn't streaming at the time. It's now loading. Okay, almost there. Multiplayer? No, not multiplayer. Well, it's like multiplayer for a minute. Maybe the server got populated now. Ah, yes, here it is. Okay, that's finally... We're going to wake up with this. Maybe not completely fall asleep yet. I'm going to fly once again the so-called Spitfire. I want to see how shit it is. It shouldn't be so shit, but I must say it seems so. At least from a first try. Maybe it's a plan you have to get to know better. Let's pretend the stream starts now. I'm going to start with the usual dogfight against other players. It's also fairly populated today. Of course, to fly the Spitfire we should be an ally, but there's many more allies than Axis now. I better not do it. I'll pick the Italian plane then, I guess. Should be on this spawn point. Yeah, this is the other DLC I got the other day. This one I liked from the very beginning instead. It's not just because I'm Italian, since like much more fun to fly plane compared to the Spit or Spitfire. However you want to call it. Also my face was inside the seat at the moment, okay. This should be friends. We did start from a as a friendly spawn point after all. This fly is similar to the 109. It's also kinda more heavily armed, at least so it seems. Is that German? No, it doesn't look German to me. I think it's an enemy. No. Yeah, definitely Russian plane. And now... No, not Kistolen yet. Nice positioning. Come on! Ah, did you lose control? No, not yet. Right, he seems to be certainly quite lucky. Several hits reached his airframe, and yet I somehow managed to lose sight of him. Didn't he crash? No, I did. Okay. As usual, when you lose sight, he's actually behind you. Here you are. I didn't like the sound of that. Give me an external view. Damage assessment, you see? I'm still good. All in one piece. Where did it go? Behind once more. Try a difficult maneuver. Don't do this. Do like this. If I had managed to do that, that would have been the coolest thing in the history of humanity. Unfortunately, I didn't manage. A bit of a mistake, to say the least. Look at the tail floating. Respawn, man. Let's not linger on past mistakes, but rather look to the future. My radiogoniometer over there is going to tell me all I need to know. We love our radiogoniometers as Italians. What's the purpose of that instrument, by the way? Should be a navigational aid. Better look ahead. Judging by the name, it's probably something that works with the radio to let you find where you are. Must have been quite advanced for the time. Cannot still attempt an idea of that. Okay, seems to be rather certain that I'm his enemy though, judging by the way he was pointing at me. He's gone in a flash, of course. There's some guy bouncing his tracers on the ground over there. Ah, it's a combat, yeah, there's two planes. 1, 2. I guess I'll be player 3 to their duel. Not the most fair play thing, but this is a war. Now, the true question is, which is the enemy? Which is the enemy? Still cannot tell. Player 4 has entered the game. I cannot identify things from the... This is Russian. This is almost certainly Russian. He's also now blooded his hands. No, wait a minute. No. It's German. Okay. I hope he didn't notice who shot him. Good thing I didn't bring him down. He had a strange livery. Aren't Germans usually more grey? Okay, that's the same German as before. It actually looks like the Italian plane. It's got a brown livery. This is also German. That's the Focke-Wulf, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe that one. German. Yeah, German indeed. The enemy seems to have run off, being scared of our incredible firepower. I'm now at 1 death, 0 kills. But in any case, potential of firepower. Something over there. Ah, hey, look at this. No, you broke my elevator. That's not good. Try and... No, I should be able to keep it in there. And now, of course, it's coming for another pass. Here he is. It's the shit fire. Yeah, it's the shit fire. It's so shit when someone else is flying it now. So maybe the problem was behind the controls. That is, I was the problem. You think we're receiving assistance? The lack of one aileron definitely hurts us. And now maybe it's going to end up hurt even more. Smoking. I think I punctured this fuel tank. Now I did once again something stupid, because we see when you have only one aileron, you're not supposed to make these tight turns. So we have more German people than British one. Let's switch to the Spitfire. It's what I wanted to fly originally. Or even in the team. Here it is. Spitfire Mark 5. Let's see what we can set up on it. You can switch your engine, but it doesn't tell you what the alternative is. The mirror, but I want the mirror. In VR, mirrors are pretty cool to use. Converge just 500 meters. Let's go a little shorter on this server. 380. And here we are once again in the cabin of this fairly difficult to understand plane. Yes, the mirror, look where they put it. Up above. Is it outside the canopy? Yeah, it's outside. Well, I see. That's mainly put there because it lets you see enemies coming from above. I guess that's the more dangerous part of your blind side. In VR you can use the mirrors actually to look all around, even more so than the real pilots would have, because your head even moves outside of the cockpit. That's peculiar, but convenient. Something over there. Look at the instruments on this plane, it's got a lot of them. That's an oxygen regulator. Boost. Am I boosting? Yeah, I'm boosting. It's just that slow, the Spitfire. Solution plane. And now the mirror conveniently covers him. Yes, he's now our friends. We switched sides. A time formation flight with that guy. I think I cannot tell what plane it is. A formation flight might be hard with someone that is not collaborating. Looks like a yak, I believe. No, it's got a low wing. I'm overeating. Okay, so the radiator is this big lever. You push the button and move it forward. It's got one radiator. The other one is automatically controlled, I believe. Only the water one. I've lost my attempt of formation. Well, I'd rather find the enemy, but I cannot see where. What does it say? Il-2 Verloga. Just a server message, I believe. Here you are. I wish he was an enemy now. Probably wouldn't have let me get there. But this gave him a scare. Now we're flying acrobatics in a supposedly dogfighting server. Meow. Oh. If I crash into him, that's not going to look very cool. Okay, now I lost control. We're at height, I shouldn't crash. Okay, so we also attempted spin recovery on a Spitfire. Engine gave out from here, but it became again working condition. No enemy inside. This is just like the campaign from before. We joined a dogfight server for the purpose of quick action, yet we somehow managed to not meet the enemy. Let's say I respawn from here, maybe it will put us butt in the action. From here, again I want the spit or shit, rather should I say fire. The fire part is certain in any case. Okay, we're once again back at some guy. Here's the shooting, yeah it is. Was a good move. Respawning, I mean. I will get a kill eventually. Actually I score. I don't know why. I killed someone apparently. Yes, the siren telling you you're risking to stall. And that's definitely a German plane. But I better not follow him now. Because I think he's going right into the water. Not yet, not yet. I'll give him a little help. It's not the one behind, no. That's the German. That's British. And that's the German. Let's see if he falls. Well, should be rather badly damaged after that salvo. I love this little siren. Tells you when you're about to fall. What a nice idea from the British guys. Now we can easily follow the smoke. What is that? No, that's British. It's attempting a crash landing, I believe, but we should be ruthless. Would be in our place. No mercy for the Germans. No, I'm not crashing on this. I'm getting the kill in any case. Well, I should. Maybe I'll get it when he respawns. In any case, I downed that guy. You saw it. Be my witness. Couldn't remember the word. No, I got the kill. Starting to like the Spitfire a little more. All it took was one kill. Engine overheating again. Okay, open the radiator lever. Also, I now notice my cell phone is much away from me because it just sounded. But I'm going to get it after I die. What is that? Let's say a Focke-Wulf or an I-16. They actually look surprisingly similar because the Focke-Wulf is so stubby. way longer than the I-16, but still. It's green. It's decidedly green. Could be an I-16. Yes, it's the little Mickey Mouse plane. And now it's almost at the end of its lifespan, I guess. Its tiny mouse lifespan. I should be faster than an I-16 in this thing at least. No, wait a minute. Should I remember? I'm British. I'm not supposed to shoot an I-16. I should have shot the Focke-Wulf. I'm now from the Alice side, and the fact that I switched threw me off for a minute. Which is the German? Hard to tell. Okay, that's the German. And now, of course, my pilot blacks out. I can cheat with the external view, but still won't be able to control my plane. How in the hell weren't you breaking out? Plane, out of fuel. Which plane? Not my plane, I hope. No, the engine is running. So there's someone named plane in game. I wouldn't know. The fact that my guy blacked out, however, made me lose the German. Ah, I see tracers, okay. Here's the action. They're still fighting these two guys. That's the Russian, this makes him the German. Ah, blacking out again. No, be careful with this turn. I no longer know if it's the German. No, that's not German. By any stretch of the imagination. It's the lag. Not the lag, the lag, Lavoshkin. I-16 again, shooting what I presume is the German. And now that's my chance. Doesn't look German though. Yeah, it's the Focke-Wulf. I see I've put some holes in his airframe. Ah no, he was a friendly, okay. Well, I did put some holes in some airframe, not the one I wanted. I better type in sorry. But that was a Focke-Wulf, come on. Maybe I shot, some friendly fire went off the target. In any case, I'll say sorry, just to be sure. Sorry. Ah. Structural breakup. Bailout. Structural breakup. It didn't structurally break out. He just stopped his engine. The line of this plane looks so cool, even with the propeller broken. Okay, propeller stopped like that. Let's lower flats and gear. I don't know what happened, honestly. I believe I hit an enemy. Score seems to reflect it. And touchdown. One wheel. We don't need that wheel. We don't need a wing either. We did a crash landing. I'm going to get to fetch my cell phone. Wait a second, I'm back in just a second. What is this? Everyone's always bothering me. Okay, nothing of importance at this time. Okay. Back in flight with our trusty shit or Spitfire. No, I'm starting to call it the Spitfire. It spits more than it shits. I didn't get a kill, so I guess I actually had downed a friend. Well, that's really a shame. He looked German to me. Nothing all around. What does the map say? I spawned in Tier 1 if I'm not mistaken. There should be action. Yeah, here it is. Here it is, the action. That looks interesting. Or it would if this plane could go a little faster. Now, while opening fuel the throttle, I better also increase the water radiator, lest I overheat and my engine starts again. It's easy to imagine consequences. There's one behind, good thing. I use the external view, was trying to sneak on me. This sneaky guy. Where did he go? I love the rear view mirror outside of the canopy. I could also try and use it, since we're on it. Yeah, it works. So I see now why they put it there. And here's the enemy. What is that? It's a big plane. No, it's just the usual lag. Oh, I lost him again. Where are you? Look at the rear view mirror. Nothing. Here he is, and also another one, presumably chasing him. So that's friendly, that's the enemy. Let's not make other stupid mistakes. No, I'm British. That's the enemy. Yeah, I can easily see the yellow stripe above the engine. Again, you black out on me. This time I believe it might be the end. Oh. Come on, take control. No, luckily the plane remained in the air. Look how long it takes for him to recover. Well, they did not have G-suits at the time. I believe this must be realistic. Many of the duels that play out in less simulation inclined games, I believe, must be completely impossible, in fact. Here you are. Listen at the siren from the plane warning me. You're stalling. That's a very modern feature. I hope I don't hit the friend. Well, now they hit each other. It went against him. Should get the kill on this. No, come on, man. I'm your friend. Was there also an enemy back there? Okay, I presume so. Zarlok was being killed. But also, I destroyed the other plane. Yeah, well, I scored as an assist, because before he went down, he crashed into the other plane. Well, that's a bit unfair. Would have gone down even if he didn't crash. Okay, well, I'm remaining in the Spitfire. There's two versions of it. There will be... no, it's the same, just with more fuel. Let's pick the one with less fuel. Also, looking at the setup again, I don't know what changes if you choose the other engine. I presume this is the superior one. No, let's keep it as it is. If it's an optional selection, I guess it's the superior engine. I can scarcely imagine what the speed of this thing must be with an inferior engine. I'm not gonna beat the Radiator just to be sure. Just one notch. I don't know the actual performance of this engine. It's a new plane for me. So that's the throttle, okay. That's the trim. The detail in these cockpits is amazing, completely unlike any other World War II games we've had up to now. I can see how these planes used to cost almost 20 euros now, that they're in such a discount. It's very hard to resist buying a bunch. Also the model of the wing, very much detailed. This must be the air intakes from the Merlin engine I selected. Maybe they are not present in... Oh, what I'm doing! He came right out of nowhere. Did my engine stop? No, it didn't. What's all that fire? Well, we're still keeping to the... we're in the middle of... No, I think it's getting me. No, look at the wings. It actually folded upwards. I don't want to look at this. Finish the mission before you touch the ground. Okay, back. Same as before. This time I'll be more careful, even from the beginning. After this I'm back to the campaign. Maybe not the same campaign because it seems so boring. We could go on with the Italian pilot campaign we started the other day. That seemed to have pretty interesting scenarios. Well. The other team seems to have a couple of aces. I'm not the only one who's having trouble. Look at that guy. 35 points. External view lets you see a little bit farther out. That's the reason I so often engage it. Because in this server, since it's allowed, everyone else is using it. You better use it as well. You see better. Look, if I go internal I can see nothing, and yet from the external I clearly see an enemy there. That's a little pro tip. Oh, another one coming from here. Plus it lets you see when they're shooting you in advance. They're also probably using padlock, these guys, because it's allowed on the Berloga server. That is the function that lets you center enemy targets. But it doesn't work in VR, so this puts me at a slight disadvantage. That doesn't help when you're already against such skilled pilots. Damn boss, why do you think I was blinking like someone killed a friend? Look at this little train of death. 2 Russians, 1 German in the back. Okay, we better try and turn to them. They did hit me, but my control surfaces are okay. That's the German, isn't he? And I don't have the speed to chase him. Doesn't look German. No, I guess I did look enemy to him, so... And now I'm, of course, royally because I'm British, I'm royally fucked. Let's go back to the campaign. I don't like this server. Let's not play here anymore. At least for the morning. Okay, I'll go to the career. I'm going to play one scenario with the Italian, not very Italianly named Emil Meyer, but he's Italian. Comes from Dugino, actually. No, Dugino is the name of the airport. Dughino, maybe. But he's from Correggio, an Italian comune or little town. Yet his name Emil Meyer, I guess he must have been adopted. From the 22nd Autonomous Group terrestrial hunters. Hunters, is it name? Hunters. Catch, in any case. Emil Meyer, ground tubes cover, river crossing time. Well, I made myself the commander, so I can opt to skip a possibly boring mission, as this one could possibly be. So let's skip it, and I'll go straight to river crossing. Proceed. So it calculates the first mission. River crossing usually has enemies coming to the point. Plus, shooting ground attack planes is always fun. Now we're using the Italian plane again, MC202. Can we actually select anything else, just to know? I don't think. Yeah. Check realism. I'm keeping unlimited ammo, especially for career, it's much better. Makes for a less boring experience. So this is the flight path. Me being the commander, I can do this little very nice thing that I've shown you the other day. You can shorten your flight path, because when you start in the air, you actually start at the second waypoint. So if you put the waypoint as close as possible to the objective, you significantly, in a very important manner, you shorten the time you have to waste before combat. We're also in full enemy territory, so I believe there should be movement. We're covering the troops while they cross a river in enemy territory. Yeah, let's switch to the overlay. Let's my eyes cross. It's really terrible the way it shows you the loading screen. Here it comes. Now expectantly waiting, with a strong sense of purpose. Come on. Okay. Heavy clouds. Target approach altitude 2000. One of our air observation posts have detected enemy bombers crossing the front line. This sounds promising. The initial reported location is marked on your flight path. So is it a bomber intercept mission? Why did it say river crossing cover? The briefing is more. Okay, in any case, that's even better. We destroy bombers. Me destroy bomber. That's the briefing that counts for me. Oh. Rather cloudy, as it said in the briefing. The cloud effect is really well made. Are these already enemies? Let's check them up. No, they're friendly, okay. You see how we started close to the objective? It's almost like the old the old randomly generated campaign the game had. That for some particular situation actually was more fun. For instance, if you like to play ground attack planes, it had that way of putting you right above the objective and shoot to the objective. I loved it. It was a sad day for me when they replaced it with the dynamic campaign, because while this is much better indeed, it is in any respect, it takes a way longer time, especially for bombers and ground attack planes, to reach the objective. And then it makes for boring experience. Yeah, this is a bomber intercept mission. Well, it's the best one, so I'm not going to complain. You see the two over there, these are the escorts, and those are bombers, I presume. Maybe Sturmoviks, probably there's Sturmoviks at this phase of the war. Then the variants with the real turret. No, sketch that. They're PA2s. It's the twin-engined airplane, and two I-16s over there. I'm going to completely disregard the I-16s as every true aggressive air-to-air pilot would, and go straight for the throat of the ground attack planes. Now the PA2s are much faster than a Sturmovik. I shouldn't pose a problem for this MC, even coming from below. Christian Seidel seems to have a death wish. Look at how he's exposing himself. I believe his name is going to be marked in red for the next mission. This guy's crazy, even more than me. But he did something useful, because he made them separate by throwing his life at them. Now this one is already wounded, but I'd better be sure. But I remember this one does have a rear gun turret. Well, this is not going far in any case. I'll go for the others. Nazar Vishnyakov, you're marked for that. No, maybe I'll go for Eugene. Eugene seems more exposed. I like the fact that you know your enemies' names. Completely invisible due to the sun. It's an unforeseen circumstance. Okay. More damage. It's got a lot of guns this plane. And that one's dead. Well, I don't know about that. No, imagine if they crashed one into the other. That would be two birds with one stone. Or as we say in Italy, due piccioni con una fava. Look at the water on the windshield. I love that effect. There are these bees. And now your wing is mine. Not yet, it seems. I believe I must have hit the rear gunner. Apparently he's not shooting me, so that's all good. Doesn't want to die, this guy. I wonder why. Not wasting anymore. Even unlimited ammo on this distance. Well, P's can move. Look at the speed of that guy. Even damage like that. If it was a Sturmovik, he would have been completely sitting duck. He's certainly not completing this mission at this point. But I don't see why letting him live another day. Unless that is, he escapes me. Let me look a second at the label. No, I'm gaining, I mean, very slowly, but I am gaining. 70, 69. Okay, I will eventually be able to shoot. Unless that is, in the meantime, is neither France destroy our ground troops? Well, he's in range now, according to the spectacular shooting aid, which I know disable because he's always wrong. I don't know. I wait a little more. What a chase. 40, 39, 37. It's rapidly losing speed. Indestructible plane, what is that? Made of titanium. Unobtainium even. I've emptied half of my airfield supply of unlimited ammo, so I guess I better drop the other half. What is the half of infinite? Not dying. Nazar Vishnyakov. The man who's very weird is able to keep the plane in the air. So angry he doesn't die. He's got kind of a sorcerer's name, Nazar. Sounds like something out of Game of Thrones. You effing die. I'm starting to scream Muda, 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 like Dio from JoJo. Can I even damage that guy? Again. Never happened to me. But is this a bug? I started to wonder. It cannot be in the air at this point. Okay, now it's going down. god, are these things hardy. But the mission is actually completed, but there's more enemies in there. Let's go and look for them. Good thing I have unlimited ammo. Lowering a bit my power. Don't want to overheat even with simplified engine management. Well, I'm also heading towards base and a target, so whatever comes first. 2 targets actually. What are these? You cannot zoom on them, makes them disappear. Okay, the ground emplacements. Swift 2, engaging fire to the south. Yeah, that's what I'm currently moving to. Gunther's cult. Make way, Gunther. This one sounds like an ancient knight. Teutonic, I guess. Okay. They don't seem to be really going at it, these guys. Look at the blue labels, all spread apart. Okay, 3 kilometers. You would totally be unable to spot anything without labels. So that's another reason to simplify the game a bit, otherwise it would be a bore fest. Filat Medvedev. Other famous name. You'll be my client today. Welcome to my shop. These are just I-16s. Ah yes, it's the escort from the bombers of before. Well, bombers, more like ground attack. They're so tiny, they become kinda hard to hit. I don't know how's the performance compared to this Italian plane. They usually can turn better than the earlier 109, at least on a flat duel. But this plane is quite agile, so I don't know. Maybe it can outturn the teens. They're very slow in any case, so they ultimately were always the loser side. Kinda hard to hit indeed. Look how this dogfight actually is when you disable the labels. Impossible to follow in the clouds. Right, on the other hand, the enemy certainly knows where you are. I don't think the AI actually takes the clouds into account, so it's kinda fair, I guess, to use labels in this situation. Against players it wouldn't be. He's aiming there for the precursor shooting in any case. My god, how small you are. Well, now he can no longer escape. Scratch that. Apparently he can. I like to cheat all the way against this guy. The famous Nikolai Kiryov. Imagine if it was like the old XCOM series of strategy games where you could use your friend's name for your squadron. That would make you feel attached to your guys. Because the game actually keeps track of whoever dies and tells you after the mission. They can even be just wounded or completely dead. go after this other one. Seems more... No, never mind. He isn't going away. This one. I hit him but didn't... no lasting damage. There's more escort than there were bombers. Maybe another squadron joined the fight. It must have come from the front line. No. No luck. My god, there's so many. They're tiny and useless planes, but there's so many of them. Also didn't take that one out. Maybe we should think about running. I'm sure I'm faster than now. I want to bring at least one down before doing that. Look at this guy. Come on, come on. No, the other one is behind me. Now this is starting to look very indeed very bad. Well, another inglorious end to our mission. I'll be able to complete one eventually, I guess. No, I'm not going to save. I don't want to kill another pirate right at the beginning of his career. Well, actually, the other one from the other day was captured. He didn't die, but I presume his life in the Russian gulag won't be so nice or long. Okay, so for now let's just abort the mission. I could actually skip and go on with this one campaign, but I want to try the scripted mission another time. Where is my cursor? It went to the right. Cursor, obey me. Okay, do my bidding. Abort. So it doesn't save. Tell you what, instead of doing that boring mission from the German scripted mission again, campaign I mean, I go for the Russian one that we attempted at the beginning. I had almost passed it when it failed after all. One step ahead of that. It's another intercept mission. You're against BF 110. Aboard a Russian plane this time. I came so close to completing it, I bet I'll manage now. Don't remember what got me. Ah yeah, a stray bullet from the back, from the rear gunner of the BF. Suddenly hit me, just scratched the plane, mind you, but it went down like a rock. Sometimes it happens. That's also war, I guess. Okay, this is starting at the airfield, of course. Taking off as soon as possible. This is the Yak. It's probably the best plane on the Eastern Front. At least it feels so, I love it. Time compression to the max as soon as possible. It's, well, not so long, but it's a trek nonetheless. You have one wingmate for the mission. I should be able to see it with the rotatable wheel. Here he is. No, two wingmen actually. Well, good to know. Maybe this time I won't put myself in danger like the last one. Flying a bit low, let's gather altitude. One thing that's nice of this kind of reduced max time compression is that you still maintain control of the plane, so you never just put it in autopilot and go do something else, that is unless you want to. It just didn't get into my mind that you find yourself in a situation where you had to run from I-16s. That was my demise, while making the same error. And I guess we do, unlike what I just said, put the game in autopilot. Auto level, okay. And go check something else lest we get bored. So let's read a second about the update. I don't know actually what they changed. It's written a bit small. Main feature. Ah yeah, they added an assault gun for the tank side of the game. I've never played it. I don't know if you guys have. I believe it must be rather in depth. Turret aiming in VR is improved. Ah, you don't need to physically turn while aiming. Waypoint passed, okay. You can still check the advancement of your mission even while doing this. Let me also do another thing. I'll put the map over here. This is something I do often, so you can see on the map where you are. Well, it doesn't work so well in this monitor configuration, not as well as I remember. Wait a second, I wouldn't want to have disabled the ground level flight. No, I haven't. Well, the landscape's rather interesting, but it's bringing you nowhere to look at it for all the time as intended. Okay, I was reading it in Steam, not Chrome. I have to check the turret thing. Plane's visual pixelization against the cloud at medium distances. That was also a shitty thing they seem to have fixed. I noticed it actually. Winter has been added to Bodenplatte. I wish I could play Bodenplatte already. It's coming out on Steam on the 3rd of December, if I'm not mistaken. They also added a lot of things for the Jackets 87, it seems. Thank you, I don't care about that. Kakuo balloons won't disappear at medium distances. I wish I knew what a Kakuo balloon is. The hidden walls of the damaged buildings, oh my god. That's really a specific change. And so there's also that, there's a lot of aspects they improve from time to time. We're almost at the front now, well not quite. This is the column I remember of vehicles from the other attempt. That's the downsides of some flying games. We're almost at the end of your mission, yet you have to still wait. There's nothing much to comment on. Ah no, wait a second. I see an enemy. Finally. Here's Stalingrad. Ah yes, I remember it from before. There's a little skirmish over there. We might try and intrude. Although that's probably not our main objective. It's very vague, your objective. It tells you just to go and support ground troops. But I know from the last attempt that some bombers will show up. Still, it will be more fun if you already move against the enemy. Okay, starting to reduce time compared. Well, it seems to be having his hand quite full at the moment. It's got like 20 planes following him, so we might as well add ourselves to the list. Look at Stalingrad, all going in ashes. Almost mine. Now going with the rudder. Very complex evasive maneuver. First you go left, then you go right. It's not going to get me confused. I know you're going left after you go right. He's just named 0202, this guy after all. Was probably is a millennial. Doesn't have the experience. Oh, how did he get so damaged? He was behind the enemy. Maybe it was friendly fire, it's not impossible. Too far away, I guess. It's almost down for. Definitely almost done for. Now his engine stop is dead. Come on, let's waste our round. Now, for the bombers I was speaking about. Well, they came when I was farther the other times, so we probably have to move toward the objective. I better. Well, I don't have the specific mission objective, destroy the bombers, but I do know they'll come, so I feel kind of an obligation to it. That's another friendly airfield, and the one I presumably should have taken off from, but since simulation doesn't want me to. That guy's landing, I guess. He turned on his landing lights. They're just, and I put it between parentheses, they're just the I-16s. I used to disregard these planes, now I'm starting to respect them. After a couple took me down in the last mission. Okay, now 11 kilowatts to the waypoint. Maximum time compression as always. Let's take a look at the wingmates. Here they are. I might roll in some smoke. Well, yes, actually I am. Notice. I believe it must have been friendly fire. I was behind the enemy at all times, so I guess this confirms the AI controlled allies are complete fools. Not that I didn't know already. Let's hope I don't run out of fuel then. This is the Yak. The Yak doesn't even have the indicator, you just look at the wing itself. Still okay, it seems. That's the temperature, I believe. You look at the pin to know the fuel. These are the tanks I uselessly attacked the last time. I'm not going to do it again. It's too risky and brings absolutely nothing. And these perhaps are the bombers. Checking them up. Cheating once more. No, these are friendlies. Look at the battle. It's a fairly heated battle. This is the one part I like about the scripted campaign. You have very nicely done set pieces where actually things happen in front of your eyes. It's like a first-person shooter from the 2000s, where everything is a movie. Well, it isn't all a movie in this game. Interaction is always complete. But you do see things happening when you come to it. It's kind of refreshing in a flight simulator, I guess. That's a column of trucks. Well, not trucks, troop carriers. Troop carriers that I believe I could attempt to damage. Would be a tough sell though. Still making a pass, just one pass. I hope it's not my one and only pass. These two shall pass, as they say. Well, coming from the front I probably won't do much damage, especially since the trees are actually in the way. Yeah, no, I didn't even scratch it, didn't hit. You should follow the road. Now they disappeared. A very nice idea from the guy. Yeah, make disappear the guys and shooting them. I should follow the road that comes swooping down from behind, presumably hitting where the armor is thinner, and maybe I'll destroy at least one. I'm making just one pass. I don't want to risk too much. That's not my main objective. Position almost right. Would have been more to the left. But I guess it will have to do. So I'm pointing at that one. It's your lucky day. And the tree covers him. I don't know. No, I don't think I didn't hit him. Bust. No more. It's too dangerous. This I better leave alone. I tried it the last time. They're extremely spaced closely together. They're all machine guns ready to fire at you. And you see they're really trying even from there. I'm not getting close to these guys. Are these the bombers? These are indeed the bombers. At last. I hate these guns. Damage something. Well, put some holes in the wings. Not enough to bring me down, I hope. Also it seems to have made a hole. I don't know how it did it. It made a hole in the canopy up above. Shooting from below, made a hole in the canopy. I guess the shot must have really grazed me. Good thing. And here are the BF 110 that fooled me before. Because they are these rear gunners that apparently aren't so strong, but actually can get lucky sometimes. It's the E2 variants. I wish I knew what's the difference. Okay, that one's already smoking. I don't know if I'm better to go after him or the other ones. Well, that one seems pretty doomed at the moment. I'll try and shoot the other guy. Ciao! Perfetto. Okay, I'm obviously gaining on them. They are, after all, slow-ass ground attack planes. No, what is this? No, the engine stopped. Why? Why did the engine stop? I was trying smoke for a while. I guess I got damaged by friendly fire while fighting the I-16. That suits me, I guess. It's all because I got greedy. Well, I got greedy and the AI units got stupid. Because all they had to do was not shoot at me, but apparently that was too much for them. And this concludes it, I guess. There's not much I can do. I tried to start it again, but it does absolutely nothing. I'm also landing in enemy territory. I don't think this will be a mission completion. All because of friendly fire. I won't play this mission again. Touchdown. Oh, I'm flipping over. Should have lowered my flaps as well. Okay, this sucks, but okay in any case. We better say it's okay. Forced land, 2 planes shot down. Well, best we could do, I guess. Let's make another attempt at the forces on the wall and then inspect the multiplayer for the final part of the stream. Description of war, fall from Olympus. This is the one that said just relocate to the Kuzmichi Vertiaci line. You are the leader. Cover the position. No, this one says cover the position. Okay. It's the one that crashed earlier because my internet went down for a minute. Shouldn't take too long to load. And here we are. That seems like a rather short flight path. More to the better. We're going to fly German plane BF-109 G2. Remove the address. It's not a bomber intercept mission, I believe, so I'm not putting armored glass. I'd rather fly a little bit more agile. Engines are already started, yeah, just open the throttle and go. Well, not just open the throttle, also push to the right with the rudder. Unless you want to go straight into the parked 109s. Gear is up. Well, gear is mostly up, takes a little while. As we noticed the other time I tried to land and forgot to lower the gear. Actually in the BF it takes a little while to do. Can be dangerous if you're forgetful like me. Now accelerating. Let's minimize the downtime. The chat window is covering the flight path. Well, I should be able to see. Ah, well, I can see it here. Okay, so just on left here. I'm followed by a fairly big wing, it seems, not just the two wingmates from before. No, that's the Panzer. What is the bottom? Nice Panzer, by the way. No, I don't want to look at him, though. I believe that was the older Panzer III. I'll just follow the flight path, I guess. Should be able to see. Yeah, there is something behind. There are BF 109. So now we know. It actually looks like an attack path. We are moving toward an enemy city, or maybe even the titular fortress on the Volga. Or perhaps that's an expression referring to something in particular I wouldn't know. There's another column of friendly vehicles covered by my wing. See it on the map. Ah, finally I can see the plane. It came out of the dark zone created from the chat window. Right above the streamer stats. Here it is. So we turn left at Kuzmichi. Should be a little bit higher judging by the HUD. Q. There's a battle over there. I wish it had labels to show me the position of the enemies. Apparently I'm not supposed to take part. Now finally moving towards Vertaya. Verti? What is that? Zoomed like this, yeah. Vertiasi di Vertiasi. Ah, here comes an enemy formation. Enemy formation of what exactly? We are many here. We could take them. Let's tell the other guys. Attack nearest air target. Wish I knew what these were. Okay, it's yaks. That's not the best possibility. Yaks are quite dangerous. It's the 69 version though. The older one. Look at my friendlies, so slow to engage. That's actually for the best, I guess, since they sometimes end up hitting you. I better stay behind them. Okay, I follow that yak over there. I want to know the distance there. 130. Didn't check convergence, I guess it's 400. usually is when you don't set it. It's coming in range very soon. Six. There it is. It's now above 500. They're already hitting. I saw so smoke. More power. The Yaki is powerful. It's powerful indeed. Yeah, it did some damage. If only I could turn a little more. Like so. What's his name, by the way? 0108. Nice name. Okay. And now you're off to Hades, I guess. Stop, you know, waste alarm. What do we have around us? The little labor trick again. Okay. The enemy seems to be engaged in a fierce melee at this moment. This one's coming straight for me. Mr. 0104 is going to be a problem. Where did they go? Here you are. You sucker. Here's my chance. Losing fuel now. This was a good hit. You better remove that. I told you, it's completely wrong. And now I guess he's about finished. Well, not quite. He can beat these planes, the Russians, I tell you. Realistically, I should go help the rest of the fight. That one's out by now. Engaging further to the south, requesting any clearance. Oh, what the? You hear everything they say. Doesn't necessarily pretend to your situation. Now, I'll be careful not to black out, it would suck at this point. The German pilot seems to be capable of holding it better than the Russian one. Or maybe it's just that the plane is less maneuverable, I don't know. Removing the side, the very wrong side. But he escaped. That's so friendly, okay. Want to know the distance. 1 kilometer now. How can it be so fast? Cheating AI. No, I don't know, maybe. Just maybe. Feels like it. Like this. This is I like. Yeah, hit. Oh, maybe I did a hit, but not good enough. Let's try to surprise him. Left and right, that's the winning strategy. It's winning when I use it, not when others do. Now. Well, it does tend to work with these silly AIs, not so much so with real players. Now he's smoking, I believe it was the masterful hit on Mr. 30303. It's still like a name in this mission. I should instead to 0107, famous Russian ace. You can tell from the 07. He also employed that in Britain, they tell me. It's a double zero though. And I guess this is finished. No, because apparently today all my guns shoot marshmallows. I can only explain it like this. Yes, even a marshmallow can get you, eventually. Bam, 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 bam. Well, he exploded, that's a good sign. What's left? What is left? I'm being so closely followed by all my wingmates, I actually have a feeling they might run into me. What is that? It's a train. It's an enemy train. Should I shoot the locomotive? I'm going to. Let's see if it goes up in flames. I love it. The very concept of shooting a train. Quite hardy train, by the way. No, it didn't destroy it. I'll go for another pass. Let's try. I'd like to bring myself such a trophy back to base. A train. Quite easy to spot. Oh, that's steam. No, I didn't align good this time. Somehow this seems so much more inviting than go after the fighters. Maybe because he's harmless like that. If I had rockets, if only I had rockets or bombs. Let's go with a slow motion. Bullet time like in the Matrix. Other chat called by the moment. Nah, you see, you're doing nothing to it. You're doing absolutely nothing. It's useless. Now I'm adding more time compression. Did I complete my mission? Yes. Yes, well, we better land the plane in one piece at least once. In this whole stream I couldn't manage once. Let's try and complete one mission. There are still enemies in there, but I don't want to risk it. I failed all my attempts today. Let's just complete one. What does it say, the mission screen? No, you see it from here, I guess. Primary objective. Yeah, but if it's like the other scripted campaigns, the objective is just land. So all that it's in between is up to you. Now heading to Bolrosheshka. Bol. What does Bol stand for? I'm also telling to the wingmates return to base, so they remove themselves from my tail like this. Could be dangerous during landing. Do like me. Return to base. F7. F7. Here. Do like me. That's a strange order. Do like me. I could even just undercut the waypoints and go straight to base. That is if I can spot it. Yeah, that's it. Well, I wouldn't be aligned if I did, so I might as well remain on course. We're using maximum time compression. Well, I killed 3 enemies, that's not too bad. There's always a lot of movements in the scripted campaign. They also seem, despite that, to be slightly lower requirements in terms of processing power, maybe because it doesn't have to calculate as many AI actions. That's good to know if you don't have a beefy computer. Or if you, like me, play in VR, which ultimately amounts to the same. That is a lack of computing resources. So that's something to look for. Scripted campaigns for lower spec species. Now let's lower the gear in time this time. As you might have noticed if you was in the stream earlier, I kinda suck at landing the BF 109, so now I'm getting a little worried. But this time at least the gear will be down. That's a little detail. The problem is that the propeller is so big that when you touch the ground, most often you end up breaking it. Well, I was also too fast and too high earlier. Now I shouldn't have that problem. But I almost bet that I'm going to break the propeller. Try not to, of course. Okay. Also, I'm out of alignment. I knew it. As soon as I touch the ground, I break the propeller. Okay, don't break. Don't break too much, unless you want to overturn. And Platzwunde. Platzwunde indeed, my friend. Well, it was better than before. Not the best landing by any means, but finish this mission. Let's see what it gives me. Platzwunde again. Platzwunde. Mission accomplished. Okay, good. Well, it's 15 past 10 in the morning now, which means I'm running out of time. Wouldn't have time to complete another mission. Plus there's something I need to attend to. So I guess this concludes this morning stream from the moment. Now, as you know, I'll be back in about 4 hours, maybe a little bit more, this afternoon. Possibly to play more of these, but it's actually more likely I will go back to the driving games we had so much fun with yesterday. I don't know, I have still to decide. See if you want to leave me a comment about that, or about anything really. In any case, even if you don't comment, just your presence is enough for me. As you might have noticed, I'm kind of a new streamer, but starting to enjoy this world. It's a nice way to game, especially for games that people don't know that much like this. So it would be my pleasure for me to have you again on the stream. Now, I would take out this to say goodbye, but I already know that if I do, you won't be able to hear me because the microphone is actually in the headset. So for now, it's goodbye from Italy. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed the stream. That would be really my joy. In the meantime, bye. Ciao from Italy. See you soon. Bye bye.